In a bold gambit for supremacy, Vince McMahon orchestrated a clandestine plan to establish a nationwide wrestling dominion. With the NWA on the ropes, McMahon set his sights on securing the services of wrestling icon Hulk Hogan, intending to unleash the full force of his promotional juggernaut. As McMahon maneuvered to acquire television contracts and consolidate territories across the country, the machinations grew ever more sinister. The culmination of this shadowy campaign was the infamous Black Saturday, a day synonymous with treachery and the birth of a wrestling empire that would forever alter the landscape of the industry. In the twilight shadows of wrestling history, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, a visionary with an insatiable hunger for dominance, cast his gaze upon Georgia Championship Wrestling. With an astute business acumen, he orchestrated a strategic acquisition that would forever alter the landscape of professional wrestling. As the clock ticked down to the fated hour of 6:05 on that fateful Saturday evening in July 1984, countless wrestling enthusiasts tuned into their televisions, eager for the usual dose of Georgia Championship Wrestling action on TBS. However, what unfolded before their bewildered eyes was an extraordinary spectacle. The familiar logo of Georgia Championship Wrestling was replaced by that of WWF as an enigmatic figure emerged from the shadows. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, his countenance etched with both excitement and determination, stood before the stunned audience. With a booming voice, he declared the birth of a new era in professional wrestling, forever banishing the memory of his adversarial predecessors from that hallowed time slot. But McMahon's triumph was tinged with a bitter undercurrent. Despite his grand ambitions, the reception from Mr. Ted Turner, the enigmatic owner of TBS, fell short of his expectations. A sense of disappointment gnawed at McMahon's soul as he realized that the door to a warm embrace remained stubbornly closed. Vincent's savvy maneuvering secured him both the coveted promotion and the prime-time slot. While Georgia Championship Wrestling differed from Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, they maintained a deep-seated alliance, sharing resources and fostering a vibrant talent exchange. Vincent's acquisition of the time slot presented a golden opportunity for Jim Crockett. Not only could Crockett salvage the situation by securing the time slot, but by acquiring Georgia Championship Wrestling, he would dramatically expand his reach nationwide, opening up a vast potential for revenue and success. In the tapestry of professional wrestling, Georgia Championship Wrestling holds a pivotal place, its history entwined with a legendary figure, Jim Barnett. As a formidable promoter who had shaped numerous territories, Barnett embarked on a fateful journey into Georgia, where he waged a fierce battle for dominance against longtime regional kingpin Gunkel. Barnett's unwavering television connections, forged during his formative days on Chicago's Dumont network, played a crucial role in his triumph. His partnership with Ted Turner entrusted him with the helm of Georgia Championship Wrestling, an epic that commenced in the 1970s. As the chief booking agent, Barnett held sway over the industry's most formidable talents, including the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Barnett's influential position ensured that promoters seeking to showcase Rhodes would pay a percentage of their revenue to his empire. In his pursuit of growth, Barnett enlisted the support of kindred spirits, notably the renowned Briscoe brothers, Jack and Jerry, and the formidable Ole Anderson. Together, they shared ownership and oversight of Georgia Championship Wrestling, with Anderson assuming the role of day-to-day operations manager. This formidable alliance propelled the organization to unprecedented heights, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of wrestling history. In the realm of entertainment, they not only secured the performers, but also orchestrated the production of televised spectacles. However, the Briscoes grew resentful of Ollie Anderson's hefty salary, which they believed infringed upon their own financial returns. They proposed a reduction in his compensation to increase their profit margin. Faced with an ultimatum from the Briscoes, Anderson countered with a macabre proposition, a blood pact. He offered to etch their alliance by slicing open his forehead and sharing blood with them. But Jack Briscoe, harboring a prejudice against Anderson's Polish heritage, flatly refused to become a blood brother with him. In light of this brewing conflict, Anderson relented, sacrificing a portion of his shares to appease the Briscoes and maintain his leadership. Meanwhile, an unexpected phone call from Vince McMahon Jr. presented an intriguing offer. At an airport rendezvous, McMahon proposed a deal. The Briscoes would relinquish their shares in exchange for lifetime employment with the World Wrestling Federation. In the hallowed halls of Atlantic law, on an fateful April day in 1984, the Briscoe brothers' ink dried on a parchment that would forever alter the wrestling landscape. For a hefty sum of $900,000, the Briscoes relinquished their ownership to the enigmatic Vince McMahon, granting him sole dominion over the wrestling empire. This seismic shift forced Ted Turner, the formidable competitor at TBS, into an uneasy alliance with McMahon's progeny, Vince Jr. As the deal was consummated, Ollie Anderson, the enigmatic wrestler with a 10% stake in Georgia Championship Wrestler, was blissfully unaware of the momentous events unfolding miles away in Wisconsin, where he was tending to his ailing mother. When Ollie Anderson was approached by Vincent McMahon about a potential partnership promising financial success beyond his wildest dreams, Anderson bluntly replied, "Go screw yourself." Undeterred, McMahon brought in his wife Linda for a meeting, but Ollie's response remained the same. "Screw you too." Vincent McMahon's vision was to elevate his empire into an unprecedented realm of wrestling excellence, boasting unparalleled production value, star power, and marketing prowess. In the unholy alliance between media mogul Ted Turner and wrestling impresario Vince McMahon, Turner had envisioned a renaissance of original Georgia Championship wrestling content on his superstation. However, McMahon's relentless machinations cast a shadow over Turner's aspirations. Instead of delivering on his promise of unique and groundbreaking GCW programming, McMahon brazenly interjected his own WF content into Turner's broadcast. In appearances between taped matches from Pennsylvania and other WWF strongholds became an unwelcome fixture. McMahon's lackluster interviews and repurposed footage fell far short of the expectations of 605 viewers accustomed to the vibrant tapestry of Georgia wrestling. As ratings plummeted like a stone, McMahon's ambitions grew bolder. With the cunning of a corporate raider, he demanded a hefty cut of TBS advertising revenue, mirroring the lucrative deal he had secured with USA Network. McMahon's thirst for control extended beyond GCW, as he sought to claim a majority stake in Turner's vast broadcasting empire. The seeds of a bitter rivalry had been sown. In the realm of broadcasting, a seismic shift occurred when media mogul Ted Turner summoned Vince to his lair. With a stern demeanor, he delivered an ultimatum. "Your services are no longer required on my network. I will pursue legal action if necessary to enforce this." Unmoved, Ted Turner masterminded a daring strategy by aligning himself with Bill Watts, a visionary promoter who aspired to elevate his Universal Wrestling Federation to national prominence. Turner struck a deal to showcase UWF on TBS every Sunday evening. To the astonishment of many, UWF shattered Vince's ratings dominance on Saturday nights. After a grueling 8-month battle, it became crystal clear that the partnership between TBS and Vince McMahon was doomed to fail. As Vince's stock plummeted, the question arose: who would dare invest in his now devalued company? In a clandestine phone summit, media mogul Ted Turner summoned Vince McMahon and Jim Crockett Jr., orchestrating a pivotal deal. Crockett, eager to expand his wrestling empire, offered a hefty sum of $1 million to acquire Georgia Championship Wrestling. As the negotiations reached their climax, the fate of the beloved promotion hung in the balance. With Turner's deft diplomacy, Crockett emerged triumphant, sealing the deal and securing sole ownership of Georgia Championship Wrestling in 1985. Amidst the turmoil surrounding Jim Barnett's departure from McMahon's empire, a tragic drama unfolded. Torn between loyalty and ambition, Barnett had secretly maintained contact with Crockett, a move that proved disastrous. When McMahon discovered Barnett's clandestine communications, his ire burned hot. Barnett, once a trusted confidant, was summoned to McMahon's office, where he was confronted with a demand for his resignation. Overwhelmed by despair and guilt, Barnett returned home that fateful night, haunted by the consequences of his betrayal. In a moment of reckless desperation, he succumbed to the temptation of sleeping pills. The McMahon family, despite their years of friendship, sent flowers to the hospital where Barnett lay in critical condition. Linda McMahon lingered by his bedside, but the invitation to return to the company remained unspoken. As Barnett slowly recovered, he gathered his shattered remnants and sought solace in his past. Moving to Dallas, he reunited with the Crockett family, the very people he had betrayed. In the tumultuous tapestry of professional wrestling, Jim Barnett found himself once again at the epicenter of change. As Jim Crockett Promotions struggled to survive, Barnett witnessed its eventual sale to Turner Broadcasting in 1988, leaving an imprint on the annals of the industry forevermore. As the curtain falls upon Starrcade 84, a lingering enigma lingers. Why did Dusty Rhodes, the beloved underdog, not ascend to the championship throne as a fan-adored babyface? While the allure of Flair's reign as the Nature Boy was undeniable, a subterranean truth prevailed. Wrestling territories across the nation harbored a preference for charismatic heels rather than virtuous title holders. Even the indomitable American Dream recognized this unspoken code, tacitly acknowledging Flair's suitability as the reigning monarch. Rhodes, ever the astute observer, sensed the unwritten consensus and never actively pursued the championship. With a heavy heart, he conceded that Flair's mastery of the ring and his uncanny ability to ignite controversies made him the cornerstone of the territory's success. Thus, the throne remained firmly in the grasp of the dirtiest player in the game, as the American Dream silently accepted the inevitable course of events. From the depths of Jim Crockett's mind, a fervent desire for booking supremacy ignited. He recognized that the impending battle with Vince McMahon demanded a formidable arsenal. While Crockett possessed a formidable roster, Ric Flair's star shone brightly within his territory and beyond. However, a legend loomed larger than life. Dusty Rhodes. His years of dominance as a national touring attraction had etched his name into the annals of wrestling. Rhodes' legacy in Florida, where he reigned supreme before Flair's ascent, cast a long shadow. Beyond his star power, Rhodes possessed an astute business acumen. As Crockett's booker, his keen eye would guide the promotion to unprecedented heights. By '85, the seeds of success had been sown. And in '86, the epic feud between Flair and Dusty elevated Jim Crockett Promotions to a level that would forever be etched in wrestling history. Under the grand dome of Greensboro Coliseum, where 16,000 souls gathered on this hallowed night of November 22, 1984, a poignant chapter unfolded. With a heavy heart, I bid farewell to my role as lead announcer for Jim Crockett Promotions at Starrcade 84, a moment that marks the end of an era for me. Through my lens, I've endeavored to capture the raw emotions and relentless spirit of this extraordinary sport. Like a nimble painter, I've sought to illuminate the canvas of the ring, transforming mere athleticism into a tangible reality that captivated your senses. While my reign at the helm may conclude tonight, my love for this industry knows no bounds. As Tony Schiavone and Bob Cuddle assume the mantle next year, I will watch with admiration, knowing that the legacy of Starrcade and the unwavering passion of its loyal fans will forever endure. In the hallowed halls of Starrcade 83, we witnessed the ascent of Dusty Rhodes, our esteemed guest who ignited the crowd as he proclaimed his destiny as the victor's next rival. A year later, he stands in the ring, his enigmatic presence challenging the reigning Nature Boy, Royce Flair. As the event draws near, a chorus of interviews echoes through time, revealing the essence of the Nature Boy's transformation. With each Rolex-laden quip and sly remark, he unveils his true persona, igniting a frenzied roar from the Greensboro faithful. The charisma of his razor-sharp promos dances in the air, captivating the audience and leaving an indelible mark on wrestling history. In the crucible of 1984, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship resided firmly in the iron grip of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. But Flair transcended mere regional supremacy. he embarked on a nationwide crusade defending his crown with unwavering zeal. Along his path, Flair encountered the indomitable spirit of Kerry von Erich. In Dallas, they clashed in an epic battle that saw von Erich seize the title. However, Flair's unwavering resolve propelled him to reclaim his reign swiftly. This seismic title change was not solely driven by competitive merit. Compassion intertwined with the outcome, as Flair sought to bestow a beacon of hope upon Fritz von Erich. Grief had consumed Fritz after the tragic loss of his son, David. Flair's gesture became a testament to the enduring power of human connection, even amidst the harsh realities of the ring. In a grand homage to his father's legacy, Jim Crockett Jr. cast his net far and wide, weaving the fabric of Starrcade 1984 around an unprecedented challenge: to conquer the $1,000,000 mountain. From the hallowed halls of a financial fortress, Crockett emerged with a shimmering check worth that very sum. Its destination, the victor of the night's titanic main event. Enter Joe Frazier, the pugilistic legend summoned as the guardian of impartiality. A century before, Frazier's esteemed predecessor, Joe Louis, had graced the ring under similar circumstances. This symbolic gesture paid tribute to the elder Crockett's foresight. As the year drew to a close, destiny summoned 16,000 souls to the Greensboro Coliseum. An additional 26,000 eager spectators tuned in from screens scattered across the vast wrestling landscape. The Starrcade footprint had expanded exponentially, reaching a zenith that surpassed its predecessors. In the twilight of '84, Starrcade's curtain rises with a nod to its past. A stirring recollection of the year's final chapter unfolds before our eyes, a tradition that would become a cornerstone of Jim Crockett Promotions storytelling. As the spotlight illuminates the ring, we're greeted by the familiar voices of Bob Caudle and myself, Gordon Solie. This year, we occupy an elevated perch within Greensboro Coliseum's luxury suites, perched high above the spectacle. In a symphony of fan revelry and technological mayhem, our broadcast becomes a canvas for impromptu artistic expression. From the depths of the crowd, ephemeral figures emerge, their faces a blur of animated mischief and laughter. These video terrorists turn our broadcast into a playground, their antics a testament to the infectious spirit of pro wrestling fans. Each face that briefly intrudes into our view becomes a momentary enigma, a fleeting glimpse into the boundless imagination of those who bear witness to this grand spectacle. It's as though a game of Where's Waldo has descended upon the hallowed grounds of Starrcade, a testament to the enduring bond between fans and the performers they adore. In the realm of entertainment, the proximity of the audience to the action once defined the experience. Today, however, technology has liberated us from such limitations. The use of monitors and videography allows us to witness intimate details and perspectives that were previously inaccessible, This technology enhances our engagement with the action, transcending the physical barriers between performer and audience. Gone are the days when observers huddled at ringside. Now, the camera's lens brings us closer than ever before, granting us a front row seat to the unfolding spectacle. The scale and intimacy of the experience are unparalleled, creating a visceral connection between viewers and the performance. As darkness enveloped the Greensboro Coliseum, a singular spotlight illuminated the hallowed ring. Amidst the deafening roar of the crowd, the announcer proclaimed in a voice laden with anticipation, live from the Greensboro Coliseum, "Ladies and gentlemen, we present the colossal wrestling extravaganza of the epic, Starrcade '84. The audience erupted in a frenzy, their voices echoing the seismic impact of Starrcade '83, an event that had shattered expectations and etched itself into the annals of wrestling history. A year had passed since that epic night, and now in the same hallowed arena, the faithful gathered once more, their anticipation reaching fever pitch. Tom Miller, the esteemed ring announcer, returned to his familiar perch, his voice serving as a guiding light in the darkness. With each thunderous utterance, he ignited the crowd's passions, setting the stage for an unforgettable night of unrivaled spectacle and athleticism. In the electrifying arena, the inaugural clash for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship pits the enigmatic Mike Davis against the formidable Denny Brown. Davis, once seen as an underdog, has ascended to the summit of the division, leaving many in awe. However, the path to this title bout reveals a tangled web of power dynamics. Tiger Mark, the former belt holder, relinquished it to Les Thornton in a distant land. Amidst the geographical divide, NWA promoters found themselves at odds, leading to alternative interpretations of the title lineage. In Georgia, the weight of tradition propelled Les Thornton's recognition as champion by Ollie Anderson. Conversely, Jim Crockett Promotions carved their own path, establishing their own title, holder. Thus, the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship became a contested symbol, its true lineage obscured by the fragmented landscape of wrestling territories. In a tangled tapestry of claims, Hector Guerrero's alleged tournament triumph in Los Angeles morphed into Mike Davis's victory in Albuquerque. Whispers suggested that Dusty Rhodes, the enigmatic maestro, had orchestrated this shift to punish a recalcitrant Buddy Landel. Amidst the confusion, Davis's claim cast a shadow of doubt. However, his unwavering dedication as a tireless worker since his mid-Atlantic debut in 1981 could not be denied. In Florida, Davis found his groove, blossoming under Kevin Sullivan's enigmatic tutelage. As the imposter Dusty Rhodes, he taunted the original, Virgil Runnels, calling him a fraud while proclaiming his own authenticity. This charade continued until Dusty Rhodes' summons in 1984, leading to intriguing storylines with Davis and Denny Brown, a fellow Florida expat who arrived in mid-Atlantic in 1984. On October 24th, an unexpected spike in Brown's televised wins coincided with the sudden announcement of Mike Davis as the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, a mere 2 weeks before Starrcade 84. Suddenly, a shift in fortune occurred as Davis reversed a top rope maneuver, sending Brown crashing through the ropes and onto the unforgiving floor. Brown's face contorted in pain as he clutched his lower back, the remnants of their vicious exchange still lingering. With a newfound surge of adrenaline, Davis lunged at Brown, his injured back forgotten for a moment. But Brown's experience proved too much to overcome, and with a swift forearm, Davis was sent sprawling to the mat. Still reeling from the throbbing pain in his back, Davis fought valiantly, snatching an inside cradle in a desperate attempt to regain control. But Brown's tenacity was unwavering. He leapt off the middle ropes, unleashing a ruthless onslaught of Irish whips, flying forearms and high backdrops that left Davis gasping for air. The crowd erupted in a crescendo of anticipation as the final cover fell, securing Brown's hard-fought victory. In the heart of the squared circle, a furious collision ensued as both combatants surged toward each other. Davis swiftly countered Rish's whip, driving him into the unforgiving corner. With lightning speed, he executed a flawless bridge, his momentum mounting with each thunderous count. As the countdown reached its crescendo, an audible hush fell over the crowd. To their bewilderment, it was not Davis, their anticipated victor, who emerged from the chaos. Instead, the referee, Dave Hebner, declared Denny Brown the victor. A collective gasp ripped through the arena. For a fleeting moment, the illusion of Davis's triumph had held sway over the audience. But this was the world of professional wrestling, where deception reigned supreme. This was a swerve, a cunning ploy that would leave the fans both bewildered and exhilarated. Hebner's inexplicable decision to award the title to Brown sparked heated debate among commentators. Bob Caudle and I struggled to comprehend the events unfolding before our very eyes. The replay, however, unveiled the truth. Near milliseconds before Davis's pinfall, Denny Brown had raised his shoulder, securing the victory with impeccable timing. The broadcast abruptly froze, capturing the moment of jubilation for Brown as he snatched the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship from Mike Davis's grasp. It was a triumphant and yet utterly absurd start to Starrcade 84, a testament to the unpredictable and mesmerizing nature of the squared circle. In the confines of the dressing room, Tony Chavonni's youthful countenance betrayed a semblance of a freshman ill at ease at his first locker room duty. Little did we foresee that this Starrcade chronicle of this Starrcade chronicle would also become a chronicle of Chavonni's maturation. By 86, he might well have attained pubescence. With an air of grandiosity, Tony heralded this evening as a colossal night of wrestling, only to promptly lose his thread. Stuttering, he declared his intention to remain in the locker room for the duration. Tony, your blatant lack of enthusiasm is writ large upon your prepubescent countenance, rendering you perfectly suited for this role. As if drawn from a déjà vu, we behold Ric Flair once again pacing in his octogenarian attire. The weight of his impending match manifests in an endless, repetitive litany of trepidation. Alas, can no one offer this man a soothing libation or a breakfast staple to alleviate his distress? Would it be amiss to inquire if a rum and coke or a pancake might suffice? In a captivating rematch, the enigmatic Mr. Ito, renowned for his imposing physique and relentless tenacity, squared off against Brian Adidas, a seasoned grappler on the cusp of his departure from Jim Crockett Promotions. Ito's journey had led him from the hallowed halls of Memphis to the vibrant tapestry of Georgia, where he had captured the international title. However, amidst the fierce rivalries that gripped the territory, his prominence paled in comparison to the likes of Lawler, Rude, Rich, Gilbert, and the Paphos clashing with the Rock and Roll Express. Meanwhile, Adidas's arrival in Jim Crockett Promotions in '84 had marked his ascent as a stalwart mid-carder. As the last reigning NWA Canadian television champion, he stood as a testament to the now defunct Tunney's promotion before its acquisition by the WF. As Brian the Enigma ascends, his visage bears an uncanny resemblance to the legendary John Parr, the bard behind the anthem to St. Elmo's Fire. He wields a formidable fusion of Eastern prowess and Brian's masterful American catch-can style. My commentary has evolved, embracing the nuances of global ring styles. It's remarkable how we can mold into various personas and approaches, yet the fundamental charade remains unaltered. Regardless of geographic boundaries, the feigned combat unfolds as a tapestry of deception, a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the illusion of violence. In the realm of wrestling, where grappling prowess reigns supreme, a young star named Brian Lightning emerges. With a physique as swift as a lightning bolt, one can't help but ponder if his true superpower lies beneath his feet. If Brian were to traverse the wrestling landscape donning shoes from rival manufacturers, his name would morph like a chameleon. In the confines of a New Balance sponsored arena, he would become Brian Balance. When stepping into the ring under Puma's patronage, he would be known as Brian Puma. Converse would christen him Brian Conqueror, while Loafer would rebrand him as Brian Lofty. Venturing to foreign shores, Brian would transform into Brian Fila in Europe and Brian Keds when entertaining young audiences at school exhibitions. The shoe companies, ever eager to capitalize on his fame, would clamor to align themselves with such a fleet-footed phenomenon. And so the legend of Brian Lightning would echo throughout the wrestling world, his name forever intertwined with the footwear that propelled him to greatness. The gladiators engage in a fierce grapple with hammerlocks and standing switches, exchanging like lightning. A swift drop toehold severs the lock, sending them scattering across the canvas. Adidas, with cat-like agility, leaps from the top ropes, landing like a gazelle. He executes a headlock takedown with effortless precision. As the battle rages, my voice echoes through the arena, cautioning the referee to be vigilant. Ito, known for his unorthodox tactics, may attempt a forbidden blow. A karate thrust, a jab to the stomach that could turn the tide. A right hand, like a scalpel drawn across the abdominal cavity of Adidas. I narrate, my words painting a vivid picture of the brutality unfolding before our eyes. Imagine the extraordinary sight of witnessing my collaboration with Gorilla Monsoon, combining our profound medical knowledge while passionately commentating on a captivating live surgical procedure. Behold, as the skillful surgeon delicately wields the scalpel, leaving no room for doubt. Witness his precision as he meticulously tends to the lateral collateral aspect of the intricate cerebral catustes. Upon closer examination, it became evident that Brian Adidas had adopted Dave Meltzer's iconic coiffure from years past. Returning to the melee, Adidas ensnared Ito in an armbar, exerting relentless pressure. However, fate intervened and the hold crumbled. Ito seized the opportunity for an earth-shattering slam, but Adidas, with the dexterity and instinct of a seasoned ring general, gracefully rolled through the maneuver, retaining control of Ito's arm. In a breathtaking display of technical prowess, Adidas transitioned into a mesmerizing airplane spin, twirling his opponent effortlessly amidst the thunderous roar of the crowd. With precision timing, he released Ito at the pinnacle of the sequence, sending him crashing down in the center of the ring. As Ito lay dazed, Adidas pounced, securing the pinfall in a mere 120 seconds, proving himself a formidable force in the squared circle. Amidst the grandeur of the main event, the screen flickers to reveal a bout that seems destined to be a mere sideshow. With little fanfare, Mr. Ito makes his enigmatic entrance, his attire a vibrant tapestry of traditional Asian garb. His enigmatic countenance masks an unknown past that has yet to be fully unveiled. Across the ring, the legendary Adidas stands as a towering figure, his reputation forged in the annals of world-class championship wrestling. His bond with the storied Von Erich clan, forged before the brothers' meteoric rise to fame, has cemented his status as a permanent fixture in the annals of Texas wrestling. Success has followed him there, leaving an enduring legacy. Beyond the lone star state, Adidas' journey has taken him to the hallowed halls of Portland, where he formed an unholy alliance with the nefarious Buddy Rose. Their reign of terror as heels sent shockwaves through the wrestling world, leaving an unforgettable mark on the sport's history. The roar of the audience reverberated through the arena as Adidas entered the fray, their presence electrifying the atmosphere. Cordell's confident declaration predicting a remarkable journey for the wrestler filled the air. However, fortune did not favor Adidas on this fateful night. The battle unfolded as a tedious spectacle marred by an interminable series of rest holds. The relentless repetition dulled the senses, leaving the audience yearning for something more. The memory of this match haunts wrestling enthusiasts, an exercise in sheer tedium that tested their patience to the limit. The finality arrived with a thud as Adidas executed an airplane spin on Ito, ending the excruciating ordeal. While it lacked the cringe, worthy elements that often accompany disappointing matches, this encounter left an indelible mark on the wrestling landscape. Its utter lack of ambition and innovation rendered it an almost unbearable experience, leaving an echo of boredom that lingers to this day. In the annals of professional wrestling, the third installment of the NWA Florida heavyweight title clash between Barr and Mike stands out not for its brilliance, but for its lackluster performance. Barr, who had previously dethroned Scott McGhee on October 14, 1984, found himself at a crossroads. One wonders if his victory was orchestrated solely to secure Mike's presence on the show. However, the Achilles heel of this encounter lay in the unfamiliarity both competitors held for the audience. Despite their respectable skill sets, Barr and Mike lacked the charisma to instantly captivate the crowd. The absence of a substantial build-up session hindered their ability to establish a meaningful connection. To the dismay of the spectators, the match's resolution felt forced and devoid of emotion, leaving a bitter aftertaste in the wake of what had been an uninspired affair. Such is the plight of esteemed wrestlers like Barr and Mike. Their technical proficiency often overshadows their lack of charisma. While their work ethic is commendable, they fail to ignite the audience's passion without a gradual ascent to the pinnacle of their abilities. Behind Mike Graham's enigmatic ascent to the squared circle lay a poignant tale. His father, Eddie Graham, the revered patriarch of Florida Championship Wrestling, stood at death's door, his time on earth dwindling. Amidst a tempestuous upheaval within the wrestling landscape, with powerhouses Dory Funk and Dusty Rhodes vying for dominance, Florida Championship Wrestling faced an existential crisis. Enter Michael Hayes, a visionary booker who arrived in 1985 to steer the company through a turbulent transition. As Florida grappled with the loss of its guiding light and the turmoil of corporate restructuring under Jim Crockett promotions, desperate measures were needed to sustain relevance. Mike Graham's induction into the ring served not only as a tribute to his father's legacy, but also as a poignant attempt to anchor the company during a profound era of change and uncertainty. In a gripping wrestling match, the Grape Graham seized his opponent's leg and attempted a swift figure, 4 leg lock. But Jesse Barr, with lightning reflexes, countered the maneuver. The struggle intensified as they engaged in a knuckle lock test of strength, a battle of wills that seemed to stretch into eternity. However, Barr's cunning prevailed, and he subverted Graham's attempt by subtly stepping onto the bottom rope, gaining a crucial advantage. Graham's determination refused to be extinguished, and he powered through Barr's onslaught, knocking him to the canvas. Jesse Barr, unfazed, rose to his feet and executed a thunderous figure. 4 leg lock as Graham struggled to break free. Barr, with a relentless headlock, tightened his grip. Referee Hebner intervened, inquiring if Barr was pulling Graham's hair, to which Barr coolly replied, "I don't have to pull hair." However, when Graham's manager, Mike, intervened, Barr accused him of grabbing his trunks. In a moment of dubious solidarity, in the dim reaches of the arena, Graham targeted Barr's leg with a piercing knee strike. The impact sent shockwaves through Barr's body, leaving him writhing like a desperate fish on land. With ruthless precision, Graham locked Barr in a figure. 4 leg lock, tightening his grip as Barr's cries echoed through the darkness. Driven by desperation, Barr stumbled towards the ropes, each step fueled by agony. As he reached his sanctuary, he mustered all his remaining strength and lashed out with a knee of his own, staggering Graham momentarily. Barr attempted a hasty Irish whip, but Graham countered swiftly, flipping his opponent into the air before flattening him with a crushing 2 count, counting him with a crushing 2 count. In the crucible of the squared circle, Barr engaged Graham in a heated dance of defiance, as Barr grappled with finesse to execute a devastating slam. However, fate intervened, a solitary void in the form of the absent referee, leaving Graham's hopes teetering. Undeterred, Graham countered with an intricate cradle maneuver, but the official's absence rendered its execution moot. With electrifying agility, Mike unleashed a rolling reverse cradle, only to have Barr reverse its momentum, earning a tantalizing 2 count. With time dwindling, Mike's adrenaline surged, an atomic drop thunderclap echoing through the arena. Barr's cunning countered with a deft leg pull, stacking Graham ruthlessly in the corner. In a moment of tactical brilliance, Barr paused, awaiting the referee's attention before grounding his feet on the ropes. With precision timing, he waited for the official's solitary count to sound. The crowd gasped as Jesse Barr secured a swift 123, outwitting his adversary and retaining his NWA Florida Heavyweight Championship in a gripping 11-minute and 43 second battle. Amidst the flickering lights of the ring, a clash unfolded that left me underwhelmed. Jesse Barr's languid control cast a pall over the contest, dragging it into a mire of plodding mat holds. The grappling, devoid of elegance or artistry, meandered aimlessly. But as Graham seized command, a flicker of hope ignited. The mat work transformed into a symphony of precision and fluidity. The pace surged, electrifying the atmosphere. Graham's astute psychology played like a master's chess game, weaving a narrative around Barr's injured leg. Yet Barr's lethargy overshadowed Graham's valiant efforts. Like a lifeless timber, he resisted every attempt to breathe life into the match. The final blow came as Barr secured a victory through questionable means, his feet resting atop the ropes. This lackluster affair stands as a testament to the shortcomings of a Jesse Barr match in Florida. Its excessive length and dearth of entertainment rendered it an unfulfilling spectacle. Graham's brilliance, unfortunately, proved inadequate to carry the wooden bar to a memorable encounter. In the inaugural bout of Starrcade '84, a battle of tag team titans unfolded. The Zambu Express, hailing from the sunny shores of Florida, clashed with a formidable duo, the Assassin and Buzz Tyler. The Zambu Express had arrived in the mid-Atlantic territory under the enigmatic management of G.J. Dillon. Amidst an intriguing storyline, Dillon entrusted Paul Jones with the reins of the Express. The assassin, nearing the twilight of his mid-Atlantic tenure, had once stood alongside Hercules Hernandez as assassin number 2, terrorizing Boogie Woogie, Jimmy Valiant, alongside Jones. His departure in February 1985 signaled the end of an era. Meanwhile, Buzz Tyler's ascent to the Mid-Atlantic Championship in March '85 was a tale of triumph. However, his reign was short-lived as he bid farewell to the territory in the summer of that year. The Mid-Atlantic Championship would remain vacant until the next Starrcade, but that's a story for another time. From the shadows of the jungle, the Zambu Express emerges, an enigmatic force evoking the ethereal realms of Blood Diamond, donning camouflage that echoes the fierce battlegrounds of distant lands. They tantalize with their enigmatic aura. As their silhouettes stride into the spotlight, one can't help but speculate their intentions. Are they rebel warriors, guardians of a hidden cause, or perhaps they serve as a poignant reminder of the brutal conflicts that continue to ravage the globe? The enigmatic Ray Candy, his moniker hinting at a sinister penchant, exudes an air of primal instinct, as if he were a predator lurking in the shadows. But alongside him stands Kareem Mohammed, his presence a testament to their ambition. Yet, the crowd remains unmoved, their skepticism a palpable force that threatens to stifle their burgeoning aspirations. If this event took place in a hockey arena, it would be known as the Zamboni Express for sure. It's interesting that this match has adopted the Survivor Series elimination rules. In the initial moments, Buzz Tyler wastes no time in unleashing a flurry of punches, showcasing his impressive babyface offense. Watching him maneuver with such grace, it's hard not to compare him to the talented actor Luis Guzman. Hakeem finds himself caught between the assassin and Tyler, bouncing around like a pinball. The Zambu Express then team up to overwhelm Tyler, but he manages to regain control and escape the corner. It's almost astonishing to witness the endurance of these hefty competitors. One can't help but wonder if they ever risk their lives trying to out-eat each other. I mean, did Ray Candy meet his end by devouring a baby Ruth rather than indulging in candy corn? From the depths of the ring's chaotic melee, Tyler emerged like a comet, his strikes blazing with precision. With a quick maneuver, he dispatched his opponent, setting off a virtual storm of brutality. Amidst the pandemonium, Tyler and Elijah became entangled in a fierce brawl, their fists colliding with primal fury. Meanwhile, the referee's gaze shifted momentarily to quell a separate skirmish involving the assassin and Akim. Time seemed to slow as the assassin and Akim met in a cataclysmic collision. The assassin stumbled against the unforgiving ropes, his form wavering. In a swift and malicious move, Tyler seized the opportunity, pushing his dazed opponent into a thunderous fall upon Akim, pushing his dazed opponent into a thunderous fall upon Akim. 1, 2, 3. The crowd erupted in a deafening roar as Tyler and the assassin emerged victorious. Akim, though seemingly unfazed, belied the pain he concealed beneath his stoic exterior. In a mere 5 minutes and 26 seconds, the chaos subsided, leaving the victors standing tall. The assassins had claimed their supremacy, their reign of dominance echoing through the hallowed halls of the arena. In the annals of wrestling's forgotten footnotes, this elimination tag team encounter ranks among the most unremarkable. A tempest in a wrestling ring, it offered little beyond scattered flurries of punches and kicks, seasoned with a dash of chaotic absurdity. While the match lacked technical finesse, it did have its fleeting moments of amusement. Like a cosmic joke, it unfolded on the wrestling canvas, a spectacle of random brawls and pandemonium. The assassin's victory over Kareem Mohammed, orchestrated by the notorious Paul Jones, was more a testament to the vagaries of the sport than any display of skill. This encounter will hardly find its way into the wrestling archives or ignite nostalgic memories. It was a footnote in the annals of sports entertainment, a fleeting moment that made no lasting mark. Yet, as with all wrestling matches, it held a peculiar charm, a testament to the enduring allure of the squared circle, where even the most forgettable moments can hold a grain of entertainment. Amidst the grandeur of the backstage area, Tony stood shoulder to shoulder with the legendary Dusty Rhodes, As their conversation sparked, the camera's gaze shifted to an enigmatic sight that could only be described as money. A figure huddled on a folding chair, as if lost in a world of his own. His appearance evoked a paradox. A homeless soul disguised in a basketball star's attire. A discarded jersey, partially donned, draped over him like a discarded trash bag, with one arm tucked through a sleeve and the other left dangling. The figure exuded an air of melancholic resignation, a denizen of the streets, seeking solace on the cold concrete. A baseball cap and sunglasses concealed his features, giving him the appearance of a weary drunk longing for oblivion. Yet, beneath this veneer of desolation lay a profound contradiction. This dilapidated vagrant was the #1 contender, the one destined to challenge the championship that night. He was supposed to be their hero, but at that moment he resembled nothing more than a forgotten relic, a shadow of the glory he was expected to embody. Our 5th match of the evening features an intense showdown for the prestigious Brass Knuckles Championship. The reigning champion, Black Bart, accompanied by his skilled manager, J.G. Dillion, will go head with the determined challenger, Manny Fernandez. If one were to search for the history of the NWA Brass Knuckles Championship, they would quickly realize that information is scarce unless they were willing to venture all the way to Texas. It appears that Cyclone Negro held the title for a brief period in 1978, making him the only recorded champion in the lineage thus far. However, the belt resurfaced during the confrontation between Black Bart and Manny Fernandez, with Black Bart being awarded the title without much explanation. It's worth noting that prior to this, Black Bart was known by the name Ricky Harris in the wrestling circuit, but upon his return in August 1984, he adopted the new persona of Black Bart and formed a formidable alliance with outlaw Ron Bass under the guidance of J.J. Dillion. On the other hand, Manny Fernandez arrived in the territory in September 1984, making a swift move from Southwest Championship Wrestling. He opportunistically stepped into the position left vacant by the hasty departure of Barry Windham, assuming Windham's role for a period of time and effectively dispatching his opponents with determination. However, Manny Fernandez's subsequent return to his signature flying forearm sent shivers down the spines of his opponents. The plethora of thrilling matches on the horizon at Starrcade 84, each encounter demanded a unique twist. Instead of the usual no disqualification affairs, a compelling stakes would ignite the flames of competition. To this ardent traditionalist, any title defense should always involve an actual championship belt. This unwavering belief stems from the fundamental principles of wrestling's golden age, where the tangible symbol of victory reigned supreme. Manny Fernandez strides confidently into the ring, flinging his sombrero into the excited crowd. As I mentioned on the broadcast that the hat cost $200, I can't help but wonder if it would truly make someone happy to catch such a pricey souvenir. Personally, I'd probably be a bit upset. Fernandez strikes a matador pose, expertly working the Juan Valdez theme. But as I glance at my notes, I realize we're 5 matches in and there's been no sign of blood yet. The overhead shots from Starrcade last year reveal a grimy, juice-stained mat that begs the question, does anyone ever clean this thing? The match kicks off with Fernandez delivering powerful blows with his taped fists, causing an unexpected splash of hot barbecue sauce. The Raging Bull's furious jabs are relentless, making Black Bart seem more like bumping Black Bart in comparison. In a whimsical twist of fate, the final moments of this match echo the iconic sound effects from Super Mario's end of Level Triumph. Bob Caudle, with his keen observation, notes that this bout allows for both the precision of karate and the primal instinct of catches, can wrestling. Amidst the escalating absurdity of the wrestling lexicon, one cannot help but embrace the simplicity of shut the feck up as the preferred style. Bart, driven to his knees, unleashes a thunderous thrust that propels him backward like a flatback bump. In a gruesome display of desperation, Bart sinks his teeth into the bloodied forehead of his adversary, the crimson rivulets painting a vivid tapestry of pain. From ringside, JJ, the enigmatic figure who would later become Dusty Rhodes' confidant, barks words of encouragement. Little do we know that this man would play a pivotal role in the travel escapades of Jim Crockett Promotions, where Las Vegas became a sanctuary for lavish soirees and the fodder for countless podcast tales a quarter century later. Bull, fueling his rage, unleashes a salvo of chops that sends Bart crashing over the top rope. The ring transforms into a smoke and chop house, with the apron serving as a launch pad for a mere punch on the floor. Yet, despite his looseness and agility, Bull's movements carry an ominous undertone, akin to an assault fist drop. When one gazes upon Bull, one cannot help but notice the crimson torrent gushing from his lacerated brain. Truly, he is the raging bullshit, adorned with a collection of forehead scars that serve as a testament to his unyielding spirit. Bart, with his open wounds, methodically targets the brutish Bull, delivering a punishing elbow and a bull-on-bull maneuver from the top rope. In a cunning maneuver, Bart thrusts the referee into Bull, creating an opening for JJ to toss in the dreaded bull rope. The goated Bull scrambles, rolls behind Bart, and executes a devastating rolling reverse. With a triumphant cry, Bull emerges as the new NWA Foreign Object Champion, a fitting end to a classic Southern wrestling spectacle. In the annals of wrestling, the Brass Knuckles title has long been a mere footnote, akin to a microwaved version of a hardcore title or a momentary distraction served up like popcorn at the intermission of a lengthy grappling spectacle. For Pedro Fernandez, currently reigning as one half of the World Tag Team Champions, his relegation to this unhallowed battleground feels like an injustice. Should he not be defending his illustrious tag team crown alongside Dusty Rhodes, the man who currently graces the main event? Alas, Rhodes' absence leaves Fernandez stranded in this purgatorial bout, his chiseled features invoking a whimsical resemblance to the iconic Cheech Marin. On the opposing side, Black Bart stands as a loyal cog in J. Jalen's nefarious Long Riders faction. Yet, beneath the stable's veneer of menace, Bart's true destiny lies in the role of the glorified jobber. This period of his career and a subsequent years spent in the world-class arena would mark the rare exceptions to this unglamorous path. In the shadowy confines of the locker room, Tony Schiavone's microphone captured the lamentations of Ricky Steamboat. His body, a symphony of aches and pains, played a mournful tune as he bemoaned his aching back, throbbing hips, and a litany of other physical ailments that plagued him. The frustration in his voice was palpable, a chorus of weary complaints that grated on the nerves of those who listened. But beneath the surface of Steamboat's physical tribulations lay a tactical strategy. His revelation of his opponent's inability to run was not a mere admission of weakness, but a cunning ploy to neutralize Tully Blanchard's trademark evasiveness. Steamboat had unearthed an Achilles heel that would prevent Blanchard from slithering away like a serpent. This moment marked a pivotal chapter in Steamboat's career. As the dusk of his Starrcade appearances approached, he prepared to embark on a new journey in a different realm. Years later, his star would rise again, illuminating the wrestling landscape once more. At the time, Steamboat stood as a bastion of fan adoration, second only to the enigmatic Ric Flair in the vast expanses of the mid-Atlantic territory. With the reign of Dusty Rhodes as booker upon him, a new era was brewing. For Steamboat, the torch would soon be passed to a rising star. Magnum TA, destined to inherit his mantle as the beloved babyface of the wrestling world. In the annals of wrestling lore, fate's cruel grip claimed the zenith of Magnum TA's reign. As he soared amidst the titans of Jim Crockett Promotions, rubbing shoulders with the nefarious Ric Flair, a fateful collision on asphalt extinguished his vibrant ascent. For the indomitable Dusty Rhodes, Steamboat's presence cast a shadow upon his own aspirations. Sensing the impending tempest, Steamboat heeded the silent omens and migrated to the WF, gracing the inaugural WrestleMania as a harbinger of gladiatorial greatness. In the tapestry of wrestling narratives, Blanchard's words resonated with cryptic significance. He alluded to Steamboat's enigmatic silence, a tacit admission of his own wrestling acumen. Moreover, his veiled hints of destiny foreshadowed his imminent induction into the prestigious Four Horsemen alongside the enigmatic J.J. Dillon, a pack that would ultimately propel him towards the coveted world title. In the tempestuous seas of professional wrestling, 1984 dawned as a time of attrition for Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Storm clouds gathered, casting their ominous shadows over the promotion's once bright horizon. The charismatic Roddy Piper had sailed beyond their shores, while the indomitable Greg Valentine and the menacing Bob Orton Jr. had likewise forsaken the realm. Ricky Steamboat, a beacon of athleticism, was preparing to embark upon a new chapter in his career. Dick Slater's future hung precariously in the balance, while Ric Flair, the reigning NWA World Heavyweight Champion, waged fierce battles far and wide. Amidst this maelstrom, a lone figure emerged as a beacon of stability, a one-man wrecking crew capable of weathering the storm and restoring order to the tumultuous waters. Tully Blanchard, his eyes ablaze with determination, strode into the territory like a conquering hero. With his uncanny ability to inflict pain and his unwavering resolve, Blanchard became the anchor upon which Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling would weather the coming tempest. In the sixth clash, two titans collide in a loser-leaves-town Tuxedo street fight. The boogie-woogie man Jimmy Valiant versus pretty boy Paul Jones. Growing up as a wrestling aficionado, most hearts swelled with adoration for Jimmy Valiant. Perhaps it stemmed from his stint in the WWF or witnessing his captivating charisma firsthand in his hometown of Chicago. In Mid-Atlantic wrestling, none surpassed Valiant's popularity, not even the legendary American Dream Dusty Rhodes. Valiant's allure extended beyond his memorable promos and infectious energy. In the ring, while his matches often aired on the brevity side, especially in squash bouts, his ability to pack the house was undeniable. Fans flocked to arenas, their hearts beating to the rhythm of Valiant's energetic performances. Paul Jones, on the other hand, had once reigned supreme in Mid-Atlantic wrestling. Now he was an eccentric manager, adorned in a peculiar tuxedo, who resorted to infantile antics and rambling tirades. While his later transformation into a fiery babyface would earn him appreciation, at this juncture, Jones merely served as a bizarre sideshow. The stakes were high in this brutal street fight. Not only would the loser be humiliated by being stripped down to their underwear, but they would also face the ignominy of a humiliating pin. Descending upon the arena, Paul Jones strides alongside an enigmatic figure from the Zambu Express. Across the canvas, Jimmy Valiant emerges, draped in a peculiar attire, a tuxedo-inspired shirt adorned with a crimson beret. His movements, akin to a jester's antics, puzzle onlookers as they question his allure. Jones, resembling an uncanny hybrid of my esteemed grandmother and the enigmatic actor Jason Miller, bears a stoic countenance. Valiant, in a moment of unbridled affection, bestows a passionate kiss upon the enigmatic Tom Miller. The crowd groans in unison, the air thick with the anticipation of Paul Jones' inevitable return to Starrcade the following year. Paul Jones collapses onto his knee in the corner, visibly rattled by the intense energy radiating from Valiant's erratic movements. Valiant, embodying the demon Pazuzu, quickly seizes the opportunity to attack Jones, wrapping a rope around his neck in an attempt to restrain him. With swift and powerful blows, Valiant forces Jones to struggle and flail helplessly. Desperate to protect himself, Jones tears the sleeves off his tuxedo and blindfolds himself with a piece of cloth. As Valiant continues his assault, Jones is left exposed with his chest bare and his pants pulled down to reveal his black underwear. It becomes apparent that Valiant is determined to strip Jones naked, pushing the boundaries of decency and plunging into a realm of unsettling behavior. In the midst of the chaotic tuxedo street fight, Valiant grappled Jones, leading to a fierce sleeper hold. Yet Jones, his piercing blue eyes now fixed on the camera, swiftly maneuvered his hand, his index finger and opposing digits pinching shut as he methodically spat copious amounts of green phlegm onto Valiant's once pristine white tuxedo. Twice did his arm descend, each deposit staining the garment with an unyielding tenacity, As one referee cautiously rose to his feet, a wayward fist from Valiant connected with his unsuspecting face. Simultaneously, Jones seized a novelty device from the ringside, resembling a spray can. With a calculated motion, he discharged its contents directly into Valiant's open mouth, enveloping the fighter in a stinging mist. Jones swiftly took advantage of the chaos, pinning Valiant down for the decisive pinfall. The three resounding claps of the referee's hand upon the mat echoed through the pandemonium as Paul Jones stood tall, his tuxedo now a canvas of Valiant's disdain, claiming a hard-fought victory in the annals of tuxedo street brawls. Valiant resembled an inanimate plastic figurine reminiscent of the fabricated Santa from the Santa Claus 2. Their struggle became a chaotic tapestry of torn apparel and disrobing. Jones, with his contorted expressions, attempted to convey a sense of vulnerability, but his efforts were misguided. He exaggerated the impact of Valiant's seemingly harmless blows, as if he had been struck with a concealed weapon. This melodrama fell short of the iconic confrontation between Cornette and Dangerously, leaving a sour aftertaste. The canvas witnessed none of their exploits, as Valiant swiftly ensnared Jones to the ropes. Valiant's nonchalance extended to every assault Jones launched, leaving the latter visibly frustrated. As Jones finally freed himself, Dillon intervened with an illicit weapon, paving the way for Jones's undeserved victory. The match unraveled into a chaotic disaster, leaving an indelible mark of sloppiness upon the annals of wrestling history. In an odyssey that spanned the wrestling landscape, Jimmy Valiant ventured beyond Mid-Atlantic's borders, leaving an enduring legacy in distant lands. His path led him to the vibrant streets of Memphis, where he graced the ring with flamboyant appearances. Across the Georgia plains, Valiant left an imprint on the wrestling scene before forging alliances with diverse territories. In Memphis, the Jarrett family extended their hospitality to Valiant, while Vern Gagne's AWA welcomed him with open arms in the untamed Northwest. Through a circuitous journey that spanned Pro Wrestling USA and countless promotions, Jimmy Valiant's absence from Mid-Atlantic's embrace lingered. But time held the key, and eventually he would return to the fold, his name forever etched in the annals of wrestling history. In the depths of the raucous arena, the seventh battle unfurled, a duel for supremacy over the NWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight title. Two titans clashed, Ron Bass, the enigmatic champion, and Dick Slater. The prodigal son returned to reclaim his former glory. Slater, a whirlwind of chaos, had stormed back to the Carolinas after a whirlwind tour of rival promotions. Scars of feuds with Flair and Steamboat still fresh, he sought redemption against the man who dared to wear his crown. Bass, too, had made his resurgence after a sojourn in distant lands. Triumphant from his victory over Mosca, he stood as the relentless guardian of the coveted belt. As the bell tolled, a swift and brutal spectacle unfolded. Under 10 minutes of relentless fury, the match reached a premature end with a cunning ploy that left a bitter taste in the mouths of all. Slater, desperate for victory, unleashed a torrent of blows upon Bass. Yet, just as the ref intervened to halt his onslaught, Slater seized the ropes in an illegal hold. Despite the valiant efforts of J.J. Dillon to assist Bass, Slater's relentless attack overwhelmed the champion. With a swift toss aside, Slater sealed his victory via disqualification. This twisted triumph, born from desperation, hinted at a deeper psychological struggle within Slater's tormented mind. With a spring in his step, Slater charged at Ron Bass, his fists connecting with a resounding back elbow that sent Bass tumbling to the mat. Slater relentlessly pursued J.J. Dillon, dodging and weaving through Bass's feeble attempts to slow him down. Like an echo, Bass's name rang true. A mere ass in my eyes. Dillon scurried away on his knees, seeking safety high above, while Slater resumed his chase. Bass lashed out with a whip, but Slater clung to the ropes, gliding effortlessly out of the ring and zeroing in on Dillon once more. As if taunting Bass, Slater proclaimed, "Dillon's my prize. See you later, old man." With a playful kiss to his own hand, Slater smacked his backside. A cheeky jest that left Bass fuming. Slater unleashed a flurry of attacks on Bass, including a diving duck, a bone-rattling chop, and a stifling headlock. The side headlock seemed to stretch into eternity, with Bass desperately calling out signals. The two wrestlers communicated like air traffic controllers, their coordination appearing as flawless as the stars above. Bass attempted to roll up Slater from the headlock, but Slater's unrelenting grip proved too much for the referee to break. As the referee checked Bass's integrity, Slater cunningly raked his forehead, sending a surge of pain through his opponent. Bass responded with a powerful elbow, but his follow-up attempt sailed wide. Slater, seizing the opportunity, returned to his dreaded headlock. With an atomic drop, Slater propelled himself towards Dillon, threatening another attack. He then dropped to all fours and executed a thunderous junkyard dog-style headbutt on Bass from the apron. Slater lunged at Bass, only to be halted by the referee's firm grasp on his foot. This unexplained interference fueled the fire within Slater, who retaliated by shoving the referee aside. Chaos erupted as Dillon entered the fray, delivering a brutal stomp to Slater's head. Yet, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, Slater defied the impact and surged to his feet, his resolve unwavering. In a heated clash, Dillon implored Slater to cease his aggression. But his pleas fell on deaf ears, as Slater relentlessly slammed Dillon, sending him crashing through the ropes like a seasoned heel manager of old. Undeterred, Slater then brutalized Ron Bass with a thunderous slam, only to be thwarted by the absence of a referee. As the audience held its breath, the official finally appeared and declared the match in progress. However, as Slater celebrated his momentary triumph, a revelation emerged. Whispers circulated that Slater's finish eerily resembled Hulk Hogan's iconic victory at AWA Super Sunday '83. Word had trickled down that the referee had been tipped off about the uncanny resemblance. To the crowd's dismay, Slater was disqualified, much to his astonishment. In a fitting end, Ron Bass emerged victorious over Dick Slater by disqualification in a marathon 9-minute and 2-second struggle, retaining his NWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship with an echo of wrestling's storied past. In the annals of wrestling, a simmering grudge erupts from the tapestry of a grand narrative. Slater, once a celebrated face, now dons the mantle of a cunning heel, his transformation wrought by the relentless assault of the Long Riders. Despite his brief tenure in Mid-Atlantic, Slater's treacherous ways laid the groundwork for this epic clash. The era often overlooked as a haven for stables, this particular event shines a spotlight on the formidable prowess of not one, but two such factions. Like a beacon illuminating the wrestling landscape, every decade from the 80s onward boasted a constellation of vibrant stables. In their heyday, the Long Riders soared as an indomitable force, and this fateful night marked the zenith of their reign. In the depths of the wrestling ring, the formidable Bass and his cunning strategist, J.J. Dillon, lurked with insatiable bloodlust. As their opponent, Slater, stepped onto the canvas, his reputation for agile prowess preceded him. Despite Slater's staunch determination, his reliance on grapples diminished the fervor of the bout. Bass, a shadowy presence, proved equally ineffectual, his paltry contributions failing to ignite a spark in the otherwise lackluster encounter. Amidst the monotony, Slater's fleeting resurgence brought a glimmer of intensity. Caught in the throes of the battle, he succumbed to his fiery nature and unceremoniously ejected the referee from the ring. This impulsive act sealed his fate, handing Bass an undeserved victory by disqualification. The question lingers. Was Ron Bass truly an embodiment of boredom? Or was this merely a lapse in brilliance? The answer remains shrouded in the annals of wrestling history. In the octagon, the collision of titans unfolds once more. Keith Larson and Ole Anderson, with Don Kernodle lurking like a shadowy figure, face off against the Soviet behemoths, Ivan and Nikita Koloff. Kernodle's fate hung in the balance when Dusty Rhodes ascended to the helm. His partnership with Ivan Koloff, once a formidable force that dominated the tag team ranks since 1982, began to crumble. Whether teamed with Sergeant Slaughter, Boris Zukov, or even Bob Orton Jr., Kernodle had cemented his legacy as a tag team titan. But the curtain fell on Kernodle's mid-Atlantic sojourn. Ironically, it was Keith Larson, destined to become Don Kernodles, who turned down the allure of the WWF. Unwittingly, Ollie Anderson made Larson his partner, setting the stage for this fateful encounter. In the lead-up to the fateful showdown, a somber cloud hung over the event as its prelude witnessed one of the most underwhelming introductions in wrestling history. Amidst the initial fanfare of the Star-Spangled Banner, the audience erupted in patriotic fervor. However, the spectacle quickly veered into the realm of the bizarre, with the ominous overtones of "I Am American" echoing through the air, evoking the infamous clash between Rocky and Drag. As the introductions dragged on interminably, the anticipation for the actual match began to wane. Yet, once the action commenced, the dormant embers within the spectators were rekindled. The sight of Dusty Rhodes' former betrayers, Ollie and Nikita, squaring off against him was a surreal moment. Weeks prior, on the cusp of the fateful evening, Ollie had teased a bombshelling revelation, claiming an enigmatic partner was en route from the heart of the American South. To the astonishment of viewers, David Crockett took to the airwaves and unveiled that partner to be no other than Larson himself, setting the stage for a highly improbable main event. Amidst the WWF's formidable Russian duo, Boris Zhukov and Nikolai Volkov, the question arises, why did Vince McMahon not acquire Nikita Koloff? The answer lies in Koloff's deep connection to Dusty Rhodes. Rhodes, a dominant force in Jim Crockett Promotions, cherished Koloff as a rising star. After Magnum TA's tragic accident, Koloff gracefully stepped into the spotlight, earning a coveted match against Ric Flair at Starrcade '85. Furthermore, Koloff harbored no aspirations to join McMahon's wrestling empire. The enigmatic Russian remained loyal to his mentor and the territory that had nurtured his talent. Thus, despite his exceptional ability, Nikita Koloff eluded the clutches of Vince McMahon, forever remaining a symbol of Dusty Rhodes' legacy in the annals of professional wrestling. As the bell rings, Larson and Ollie explode from the corner like unyielding thunder. Their fists crash into Ivan with relentless fury, sending shirts flying like torn scraps of fabric. They emerge as the beloved heroes of the crowd, their camaraderie evident as they tag-team Ivan with devastating efficiency. Ollie's vicious slam immobilizes Ivan's arm, showcasing their determination to conquer their formidable opponent. Amidst the chaos, Bob Caudle and I amplify Nikita's raw power, heralding his grand debut at Starrcade with calculated enthusiasm. The camera zooms in on Keith Larson's distorted grin, revealing teeth so crooked they'd make a shark blush. Ollie, a social outcast with an unyielding need to critique, stands by, his words carrying the weight of 1,000 disapproving eyebrows. Ivan Koloff, the former WWF champ, effortlessly lifts his knees to intercept Larson's ill-fated climb, sending him tumbling down to the mat, fate granting him a mere 2-count reprieve. In the gladiatorial ring, Ivan Koloff endures a relentless onslaught. Desperation fuels his spirit as he frees himself from his tormentors, summoning Nikita to his side. Nikita emerges, a tempestuous enigma shrouded in muscle. His sinews tremble with untamed fury, promising a swift and savage strike. Ollie Anderson, the hapless victim, is hurled into the corner with a deafening thud. The impact reverberates throughout the arena, a testament to Nikita's raw power. Yet, beneath his imposing stature, Nikita's movements betray a stiffness and awkwardness. His brute force belies a surprising lack of fluidity, as if his body struggles to keep pace with his impulsive rage. Amidst the struggle, Ollie summoned newfound strength and wriggled out of Nikita's constricting bear hug. With lightning speed, he tagged out to Ivan, who unleashed a thunderous back elbow slam that sent Ollie crashing into the unforgiving ropes. A deafening slam echoed through the arena as both men lay dazed, the score now 2-0. Nikita ensnared Ollie once again in a bone-crushing bear hug, his muscles bulging with relentless force. Fatigue gnawed at Ollie's resolve, threatening to consume him. Yet, even in the darkest of moments, a flicker of hope emerged. With an ingenious maneuver, Ollie twisted his arms beneath Nikita's grip and hoisted him onto his own head for a jaw-shattering blow. The roar of the crowd erupted as Ollie's resilience prevailed. He stumbled to his feet and slapped the tag, sending Larson rushing into the fray. Larson, a whirlwind of fury, unleashed a barrage of attacks upon Nikita, leaving the crowd in awe of the improbable comeback. Amidst the frenzy, Ivan stepped into the ring, his fists blazing. Desperate, Larson attempted a dropkick, but Nikita's grip on the ropes proved too strong. Larson's head met the unforgiving mat with a sickening thud. Nikita tagged Ivan back in, and the duo conspired. Ivan propelled Larson onto the top rope, intending to slam him into oblivion. However, Larson swiftly countered, pinning Ivan inside the ring. Nikita's interference shattered Larson's hopes, breaking up the cover at the 2 count. Ollie seized the moment, sending Nikita tumbling out of the ring while the referee's attention was elsewhere. Nikita retaliated outside, lunging at Kernodle with a clothesline as Kernodle brandished a crutch. Inside the ring, Ivan struck Larson with an enigmatic gimmick, one of many that had graced the card. As he pinned Larson, the crowd erupted in a mix of cheers and gasps. After an epic 15 minutes and 28 seconds, Ivan and Nikita Koloff had triumphed, marking the longest match of Starrcade 84. In a familial twist, Keith Larson stands as Don Kernodle's enigmatic kin, their contrasting surnames hinting at a concealed secret. Could it be a case of half-siblings with distinct maternal lineages? Seeking retribution for a treacherous assault by the Koloff brothers, Kernodle finds solace in his brother's unwavering support. The sight of Ollie Anderson as an unlikely protagonist feels jarring, a testament to the ever-evolving landscape of professional wrestling. Despite his initial unease, fate smiled upon him as he joined forces with a burgeoning Arn Anderson, a union destined to rewrite history. Nikita, a novice in the squared circle, displayed flashes of his future prowess. His journey towards the zenith of the promotion had yet to fully unfurl, but the seeds of greatness were already sown. This marked a pivotal moment in the rise of the enigmatic Soviet Union stable, their presence poised to reshape the wrestling world. Amidst the thunderous roar of the arena, I find myself captivated by the resonant strains of the Russian national anthem. Ironclad fortitude emanates from the Koloffs as they stride forth, their bodies a symphony of muscle and steel. The Koloffs, however, display a weakness that belies their fearsome reputation. Ivan's indifference to his opponent's blows borders on arrogance, while Nikita's reliance on the suffocating bear hug reveals a lack of imagination. In a clash for the NWA television title, the valiant Ricky Steamboat strides into the arena, extending a gracious handshake to the seemingly innocuous ring announcer. Little does Steamboat know, he has mistaken the humble official for a mere minion. With a hefty $10,000 on the line for each combatant and disqualification renounced, the stakes soar to unprecedented heights. The outcome not only crowns the victor, but also potentially strips the reigning champion, Tully Blanchard, of his esteemed title. As the unforgiving no-run rule prevails, both competitors must refrain from the customary maneuvers of the ring. The ropes remain untouched, territories untraveled, and concessions unvisited. Fans are silenced, leaving the battleground devoid of distractions. This epic encounter marks Steamboat's final NWA swan song as he faces off against the audacious Tully Blanchard. With lightning-fast reflexes, Blanchard lunges at his opponent, igniting the fiery clash for supremacy. From the lineage of wrestling royalty, Tully Blanchard stands as the son of San Antonio's legendary promoter, Joe Blanchard. Joe's pioneering vision brought Dusty Rhodes to prominence, forging an unspoken bond between Tully and the American dream. In their fiery clash, the battlegrounds erupted as Tully unleashed a relentless barrage upon Steamboat's ribs. The wounded animal within Steamboat ignited, sparking an intense brawl that echoed the gritty spirit of Pier 6. Steamboat's brilliance shone through as he executed a breathtaking outside, in suplex from the apron, nearly pinning Tully. With each subsequent blow, Steamboat channeled the subtleties of boxing, embodying the agony of ribs ravaged by pain. His body language bespoke the torment he endured, a testament to his impeccable storytelling. Tully prowled like a venomous king cobra, his fists striking Steamboat's wounded ribs with merciless precision. A quick strut ignited within him, mirroring the swagger of his idol, Ric Flair, Ric Flair. Unfazed, Steamboat hoisted himself onto Tully's shoulder, using the corner as leverage. With a swift kick to the crown of the head, he defied his injury and inflicted further pain. A backhand sent Tully crashing down, and Steamboat's knees sank into the back of his skull. But Tully remained defiant. Embracing the tyranny of his ribs, Tully broke free, only to reignite the relentless assault upon them. In a defiant reversal, Steamboat pivoted swiftly as Tully's grasp faltered in a perilous sleeper hold. With lightning speed, he slipped free, capturing Tully's back in an intricate grappling sequence. Tully, desperate, clutched at the ropes, his pleas echoing through the arena as Steamboat stalked him relentlessly. Tully's desperate circles were a testament to the psychological game at play. He knew his fate lay in escape, but retreat meant defeat. A venomous spray of saliva from Tully's mouth proved futile as Steamboat's gaze remained unwavering. With a tantalizing, beckoning gesture, Steamboat drew Tully into a fierce lockup. Headlocks and leapfrogs ensued, culminating in a thunderous power slam that sent Tully crashing into the mat. The relentless assault continued as Tully retreated to the corner where Blanchard's Mongolian chop drew only a 2 count. Steamboat's corner mount ended with a decisive drop, but again, Tully's resilience shone through. In the annals of wrestling artistry, Steamboat's fate would mirror that of the legendary Savage at the Wrestling Classic. Steamboat's audacious apron suplex attempt was thwarted by Blanchard's cunning blow to the head with an illicit weapon. Blanchard's aerial assault from the corner was met with resilience as Steamboat survived his crossbody block with a mere 2 count. As Blanchard ascended to the precipice of Steamboat's perch on the top rope, he was met with determined resistance. Steamboat's masterful defense of Blanchard's superplex aspirations left his adversary crumpled on the canvas. Blanchard's ensuing Irish whip was countered with precision, and Steamboat executed a flawless sunset flip. However, in a flash of deceit, Blanchard's nimble hands retrieved a concealed device from his trunks, evading the referee's notice. With lightning speed, Blanchard delivered a devastating blow to Steamboat's eyes, concealed the evidence with practiced ease, and pinned his unsuspecting adversary. After a grueling 13 minutes and 17 seconds, Blanchard emerged victorious, successfully defending his NWA World Television title at Starrcade '84 and securing the coveted $20,000 prize. As the curtain falls on this unforgettable encounter, let us offer a heartfelt tribute to the legendary Ricky Steamboat. His unwavering spirit has illuminated the mid-Atlantic territory, casting a lasting legacy upon its sands. Though his path leads him temporarily to the hallowed halls of the WWF, we eagerly anticipate his triumphant return to WCW in the realm of 1989. May his contributions continue to inspire generations of wrestling enthusiasts, forging an indomitable bond between a true icon and the indelible tapestry of mid-Atlantic history. In my opinion, this match from the early 1980s was a hidden gem. It stood out from the rest of the card and was only slightly held back by an excessive focus on psychology midway through. Steamboat's early rib injury was expertly sold and affected his wrestling style, showcasing incredible consistency rarely seen in matches. While the psychology of the injury slowed the pace a bit, Blanchard eventually targeted the ribs, adding to the believability and emotional investment in the match. The finish, with Blanchard outsmarting the referee and using a chain to secure the win, added a great mix of psychology, cheating, and solid action for a memorable match. Amidst the thunderous clash of Starrcade, a surreal spectacle unfolded as the 10th match approached. Not a tale of epic proportions, but a curious encounter between NWA United States heavyweight champion Wahoo McDaniel and the enigmatic superstar Billy Graham. In the twilight of his career, Graham had embraced an ethereal persona, donning a martial arts guise from 1981 until his return to the tie. Die of his past in 1986. It seemed as if Graham had lost his celestial bearings, leaving him stranded on a wrestling planet he no longer recognized. The match that ensued was a testament to the bizarre transformation. Its brevity left one questioning whether time constraints had played a role. Yet such an excuse seemed far-fetched given the extended duration of Starrcade's other contests. For Graham, the once imposing figure who had captivated Madison Square Garden in his 1978 battle against Dusty Rhodes, now appeared as a shadow of his former self. Paired with the fading McDaniel, this match felt like an anachronism, two aging giants at the precipice of their twilight years. It was as if a baseball fan had witnessed a poignant but incongruous clash between octogenarians Bob Gibson and Ted Williams. The spectacle carried an aura of melancholy, a reminder that even the most celebrated stars must ultimately face the passage of time. In a twist of fate, Wahoo McDaniel's destiny at Starrcade 83 took an unexpected turn when Barry Windham, the intended title challenger, vanished without a trace. This vacancy opened the door for McDaniel to seize the championship, paving the way for a storyline that would ultimately culminate in Magnum TA's triumph in 1985. Barry Windham's absence had a ripple effect, not only reshaping the course of McDaniel's career, but also altering the landscape of professional wrestling. Windham's defection to the WWF, alongside his father, Blackjack Mulligan and Mike Rotundo, led to a tantalizing match against the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov for the WF World Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, in the aftermath of Windham's departure, Manny Fernandez briefly held the spot intended for him in the Rhodes and Jim Crockett Promotions ranks. However, it was Magnum TA who would eventually rise to prominence, taking the mantle from Fernandez in a pivotal moment that set the stage for his legendary rivalry with Ric Flair. Years later, Barry Windham returned to the fold of Crockett Promotions, having honed his skills in the WWF. His return marked a resurgence in his career as he went on to engage in some of the most epic battles with Flair, cementing his status as one of the most extraordinary wrestlers of his era. Amidst the roar of the crowd, the enigmatic superstar Billy Graham emerged from the shadows, a relic of a bygone era. His physique, once the envy of champions, now resembled a faded tapestry, marred by years of relentless pursuit of muscular perfection. In a poignant display of misplaced bravado, he executed feeble karate chops, conjuring images of a once formidable warrior reduced to a shadow of his former self. His contorted body twisted into an awkward kata, a caricature of the martial prowess he claimed to possess. In stark contrast, Wahoo McDaniel descended upon the ring, his ceremonial headdress adorned with pride and his U.S. title belt draped across his waist. His weathered body, once a testament to athleticism, now bore the weight of time. The match commenced with an unexpected flurry of eye gouges and relentless corner-to-corner chops from Wahoo. However, Graham, his veins bulging with adrenaline, countered with a punishing full Nelson. As the battle raged, it became clear that Wahoo's legendary quickness had diminished with age. His once nimble movements now seemed sluggish and heavy. Yet, amidst the chaos, he unleashed his patented Tommy Hawk chop, sending Graham crashing to the canvas. In a swift and unceremonious climax, Wahoo pinned Graham for the win in a mere 4 minutes and 18 seconds. The crowd erupted in a mix of shock and disbelief as the bell tolled. Wahoo's hasty departure from the ring hinted at a possible dissatisfaction with the abrupt and unsatisfying ending. It was a sobering display of the fleeting nature of fame and glory, and a reminder that even the most enduring legends can succumb to the ravages of time. At the zenith of his stardom, Wahoo soared high above the competition, adored by the rabid fan base. In contrast, Graham's brilliance had waned, obscured by the ill-conceived karate gimmick. A misguided creation born solely from his own hubris despite widespread skepticism. Graham's career twilight marked the final embers of his in-ring legacy as the relentless toll of injuries and declining health slowly extinguished his once fiery presence. This match stands as a testament to his dwindling relevance, as promoters recognized his limitations and relegated him to inconsequential encounters where he languished on the ring apron, a mere shadow of his former glory. In the prelude to the pivotal encounter, the ring reverberated with iconic promos and moments that etched themselves into wrestling lore. The charismatic Dusty Rhodes donned the mantle of Muhammad Ali, embodying the everyman's spirit and the pursuit of the American dream. Opposing him was the aristocratic NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair, known for his impeccable suits, luxurious cars, and shimmering jewels. Joe Frazier, the special referee, personified the stark contrast between the common man and the elite superstar. Rhodes, despite his cartoonish antics, possessed an uncanny ability to generate hype. The stakes were colossal, not just for the championship, but also for the allure of a high-profile boxing match. As Greensboro cheered for its hometown hero Flair, strategies were devised to shift attention towards Rhodes. Flair's aloof demeanor and reluctance to share a space with Rhodes created an air of tension. However, the match that had been long anticipated turned out to be surprisingly brief. Despite its simplicity, it left many feeling anticlimactic. This marked a recurring pattern in Rhodes's booking for major events, where his attempts to sustain the fervor often ended up extinguishing the flames. In the smoldering embers of the wrestling realm, an incongruous figure emerged as the arbiter of its most coveted prize. Kyle Petty, an aspiring race car driver with an unblemished record, ascended to the unlikely throne of judge for the legendary NLA Championship. Flair, the iconic wrestler, had boldly proclaimed the NWA belt as the zenith of athletic achievement. Yet, the path to claiming this hallowed trophy was being charted by a mere $1 million purse. A dissonance filled the air as the hallowed mantle of wrestling elite rested in the hands of an outsider. The absurdity echoed through the wrestling universe. It was akin to entrusting Carol Burnett with the solemn role of refereeing the Super Bowl or appointing Webster, the homely neighbor boy, to umpire the decisive Game 7 of the World Series. The very fabric of the sport seemed to unravel amidst such an inexplicable choice. In this extraordinary clash, two wrestling titans take center stage, their skills and prowess echoing throughout the arena. As spectators, we bear witness to their indomitable spirit, each move a symphony of agility and power. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, the judges fade into obscurity, their presence a mere distraction from the spectacle unfolding before our very eyes. We, the true arbiters of this epic battle, need no guidance from these interlopers who struggle to keep pace with the breathtaking action on display. For in this realm, the outcome has been written in the stars. The combatants have shed all pretense of autonomy, their every step guided by an unseen hand. Yet, amidst the preordained chaos, they unleash a torrent of adrenaline that captivates our senses and ignites our souls. As a fiery explosion lit up the arena, the crowd braced themselves for the entrance of the main event, eagerly awaiting the appearance of none other than the legendary American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. While the dubbed music might have seemed out of place at first, it strangely added to the feeling of fate and purpose that hung in the air, highlighting Dusty Rhodes' moment in the spotlight. Tonight, he stood beside Ric Flair, both dressed in flashy robes that shimmered under the lights, signaling a showdown of epic proportions. Flair, in his purple robe and adorned with boas, transformed into the notorious heel as the audience watched in anticipation. In the annals of commentary, it appears that Mid-Atlantic may have shied away from the iconic voice of Michael Buffer for this pivotal main event. A youthful 18 years may have precluded his involvement. As Bob Caudle and I dissected the action, it became evident that Dusty had undertaken an ambitious mission to enhance his physical prowess. He had embarked on a perilous journey among the heavyweight titans of the squared circle. However, our scrutiny revealed a twist in the tale. Rather than grappling with gladiators, it seemed Dusty's heavyweight encounters were occurring at the local old country buffet. His diet had shifted from modest whoppers to monstrous triple whoppers. And instead of hoisting iron, he had taken to indulging in heavy platefuls of culinary delights. Tragically, Dusty's pursuit of physical dominance had been derailed by a relentless feast of inactivity. Exercise had become an elusive dream in the face of such gastronomic temptation. In the opening act, Ric Flair launched a relentless assault with a barrage of thunderous elbow drops. Analysis suggests that Flair's strategy was a masterful display of psychological warfare targeting Dusty Rhodes' vulnerable chest. However, the the psychology behind such blunt force remains elusive. Undeterred, Rhodes retaliated with a swift flip-flop, catching Flair off guard and sending him crashing to the canvas. A furious Rhodes then engaged in a classic headlock push, off culminating in a powerful tackle that felled the Nature Boy once more. As Flair attempted to regain momentum with a leapfrog, Rhodes executed his signature bionic elbow, shattering Flair's hopes with a jarring thud. Flair desperately dropped a knee, but to the crowd's dismay, referee Joe Frazier's count seemed suspiciously hasty. As he approached two, a collective sense of unease permeated the air. Had Frazier forgotten the sacred rule of holding the three? As the grappling intensifies, Dusty locks Flair into the dreaded figure four. Flair's piercing screams echo through the air, signaling his imminent demise. However, an oddity strikes the enigmatic Frazier. Unbeknownst to Flair's strategy, Frazier anticipates his inevitable submission. Yet, to his bewilderment, Flair does not succumb to the hold. Instead, he hovers erratically above the mat, refusing to capitulate. Frazier, perplexed by Flair's defiance, drops to his knees and repeatedly slaps the canvas with unrestrained fervor. "Surrender, Flair," he implores, his voice laced with frustration. "Why do you toy with me?" Finally, with a swift and inevitable thud, Flair's shoulders graze the mat, eliciting the referee's swift count. However, a glimmer of determination remains in Flair's eyes as he scrambles towards the ropes. Dusty, sensing his opponent's desperation, mercilessly drags him back into the ring, where he unleashes a thunderous elbow drop onto Flair's aching muscles. In the depths of a tumultuous battle, the enigmatic Ric Flair shifted gears, unleashing a flurry of gouging strikes upon his formidable opponent, Dustin Rhodes. However, Flair's legs had seemingly betrayed him, leaving him vulnerable. As the crowd gasped in anticipation, Flair transitioned seamlessly to an agonizing wrist lock from above. Yet, like a bolt from the blue, Rhodes summoned his primal power, hurling Flair to the canvas with an earth-shattering chop. Rhodes then propelled Flair into the corner, where he unleashed a punishing barrage of elbow drops. In a desperate attempt to escape, Flair executed an Irish whip, only to be met with Rhodes's thunderous gorilla press slam. The impact sent Flair crashing into the unforgiving mat, a testament to his relentless spirit. As the action spilled outside the ring, both men exchanged blows in a brutal street fight. Seizing the opportunity, Flair ensnared Rhodes in a suffocating sleeper hold, but his cunning opponent wriggled free. In a desperate gambit, Flair dragged Rhodes to the concrete and seized his ankle, igniting a wild brawl. As the struggle intensified, Rhodes seized a headlock, but was unforgivingly sent crashing into the ring post. Blood erupted from Rhodes's forehead, painting a grotesque tableau that foreshadowed the inevitable conclusion. Like a frenzied banshee, Rhodes returned to the ring, his face a crimson mask. The blood dripped relentlessly down his body, creating a macabre spectacle. And as the final moments ticked away, Rhodes unleashed a torrent of bloodletting upon himself, mimicking the scratchings of a stylus on a record. With his face a bloodied masterpiece, Rhodes sealed his victory over Flair in a stunning display of brutality that showcased the raw power and relentless spirit that defined the golden age of wrestling. Amidst the raucous crowd, Joe Frazier halted Flair's relentless assault, his gaze fixed on Dusty Rhodes. As Frazier approached his fallen foe, Dusty adamantly resisted, his bloodshot eyes pleading for space. Flair, desperate to continue his punishment, circled Frazier like a predator. With lightning speed, he soared past the referee's outstretched arm, a knee slamming into Dusty's flesh. Frazier's inspection was thwarted, hindered by Flair's unrelenting fury. As Flair's fists rained down on Dusty's injured eye, Rhodes mustered a desperate surge of resistance. However, Flair intercepted his comeback with a flurry of blows to the afflicted area. Frazier intervened once more, his arms outstretched like a shield. A hushed silence fell over the arena as he signaled towards ringside, a grim expression etched across his face. Frazier held Rhodes captive in the corner, his attention focused on the sickening wound. As he whispered into the ear of an unseen figure, Flair's rage reignited. Dusty, seizing the moment, erupted from the corner, striking blindly at his tormentor. Fraser, torn between his duty and the brutality unfolding before him, stepped between the combatants. With trembling hands, he separated them once again, his gaze fixed on the crimson stain that marred Dusty's face. A silent plea escaped his lips, and ringside responded with a resounding gong. The match was over, a bitter end to what had promised so much. In the tumultuous tapestry of the main event, the ebbs and flows were evident, but the glaring blemish I shall address momentarily. The lion's share of this encounter unfolded as a timeless Rhodes. Flair's saga, the relentless back, and fourth, punctuated by crisp execution and evocative storytelling, captivated the audience. In a novel twist, Dusty assumed the mantle of the leg worker, a subtle nod to tradition that infused the proceedings with a touch of nostalgia. Alas, the match's undoing stemmed from a lamentable oversight. Joe Frazier, donning the mantle of referee, embraced the customs of the boxing ring, repeatedly extinguishing the spark of compelling sequences. Frazier's insistence on intervening in the action culminated in a disastrous finish that forever tainted the spectacle. As Flair unleashed a relentless assault on Rhodes's eye, Frazier's presence became an unwelcome distraction. His constant examinations of the wound halted the building momentum, extinguishing the flame of Flair's meticulous work. Finally, in a cruel twist of fate, Frazier arbitrarily halted the contest, citing the excessive blood flow. The boxing-style finale for a wrestling match left a bitter taste in the mouths of fans, extinguishing the potential for greatness. The brevity and absurdity of the conclusion, marred by incompetent officiating, cast a shadow over what could have been a timeless classic. Rhodes's post-match fury directed towards Frazier was a testament to the frustration and disappointment that pervaded the audience. The hasty exit of the referee offered scant solace. The main event, once destined for greatness, became a cautionary tale of how misplaced authority can irreparably damage even the most promising encounters. Starrcade 84. The shadow cast by its illustrious predecessor falls short of its mark. Its lackluster undercard fails to ignite excitement, rendering most of the bouts relics of a bygone era. While the tantalizing clash between Blanchard and Steamboat remains a glimmer in the darkness, the rest of the show fades into obscurity. Fortunately for wrestling enthusiasts, Jim Crockett Promotions learned from its missteps and crafted a masterpiece the following year. Avoid this pitfall, for Starrcade 84 holds little allure.